as I mentioned earlier. Starting with the history, basically before we were preserved around the 50s and 60s, this was a trespassers' paradise. So primarily college students, they found this place and, well, they would party here. Honestly, I don't blame them. If I found this spot, I'd probably want to come out all the time too. However, they did trash the place. They broke stalagmites and stalactites in the cave. So whenever you go in there, at the very top of the entrance, you'll see a bunch of stumps. Those are the ones they broke off. And then if you look far behind the grotto back there, you'll see those flat-looking surfaces. Those are actually pools of water. They're called rim pools, and the ones up top are about chest deep. So they would also hop into those like tubs, which is bad for the rim pools, and then back into the pool here. But yeah, they basically just destroyed the place. However, one of those trespassers, his name was John Cover Watson, he fell in love with the place and decided he wanted to fix it up. So he eventually saved up enough money to buy the property, and once he did, he hired John Arns to live on the property just to make sure nobody else would trespass. And whenever John Arns cleaned out the canyon, he said he took out about 100 bags of trash, and he said that the only green thing he found down here was broken glass. And after that, that's when they decided to turn it into a preserve and share it with the public. And now 47 years later, here we are with all this New Ridge Road. And we always like to point this out just to show you what happens when we let nature heal and kind of take its own time. These two rocks right behind my group over here, you'll see they're pretty much bare. That's because we place things on them. We usually allow people to sit on them. And we used to do the same for the two rocks in the middle here. But whenever we left them alone, there's now over 25 different plant species growing on those two rocks alone. So yeah, really cool to see what happens when we let nature do its thing. But that's pretty much it for the history, and I just want to say thank you for booking with us, because as a non-profit, these tours do help us a lot, so thank you. And now we can get into those rules. First rule is similar to staying on trails, just making sure we stay within the boundaries. In the cave and behind the grotto, we have foot wiring up front. We have this rock barrier, just making sure we don't step over those, and we should be good. Most important rule is making sure we don't touch any of the rock walls or formations with our hands. And this is because the oils on our hands actually prevent them from growing further. There's a spot back here on the travertine that someone did touch, and it's now completely bare, so it's really important we don't touch. But other than that, each group is going to have about 5 minutes in each spot. Spots are going to be the cave, bench area, and we'll also combine the bridge with the bench area. If you're wondering where the benches are, they are those. Thank you for demonstrating, Austin, because when I first came down here, I was like, where are the benches? And then the last station is just going to be behind the grotto. But other than that, I think y'all can go into the cave first. My two groups over here, you will be in this area first, and y'all will go back there first, but I'm going to do a snake check before y'all head up. Y'all are good.
He doesn't care if there's snakes in there.